Oh, hey, it's you. Remember how last week I said I didn't want to make a super complicated puzzle thing for this temple? And yet here I am making a super complicated puzzle thing for this temple? Yeah. Hey there friends, I'm Andrew, welcome to the Scrapbox, and today we're making the inside of this temple, preferably with a working mechanism and little puzzle. Look, the things they turn. Incredible. I'm not going to tell you the answer to this puzzle, but I'm going to make the puzzle, I'm going to make it look very nice, and I'm going to let you figure out what the answer is. But right now, it looks like this. Let's add some floor. That's my beautiful first layer. This is my layer 2, and I could do the tiling next, except for these two gears right here, which poke up a little too much. So unfortunately, I will have to put another set of plates down. Hey, there's a floor now. Look at that, it's pretty good except for that big hole right there because the gears stuck out too much. However, when I tile over it, it's not going to be a problem. Now, what we have here is a classic you turn the knob and things happen sort of deal. See, the knob turns and that turns, and the big wheel back there that you're not going to be able to see in the finished product also turns. That's right, and it goes round and round and round, and you can see the little gears turn too. Just like that. Ew, look at that old nasty Lego piece right next to it. Dang, I got some really old pieces, and those ones are gross. I'm going to replace them. It turned out they were old chunks of super glue. Apparently somebody who had these sets before me tried to glue some stuff together, it didn't stick, and the super glue was what remained, but now, as you can see, it's been nice and replaced. Alright, I've tiled most of the floor, and I've even set the doorway for the little exit into a quote-unquote treasure room, but here is how the puzzle actually works. Alright, turning this knob turns this mechanism up here, and this is going to have a huge puzzle with a solution to it. Also turning that knob turns this giant circle back here, and this giant circle has a notch in it, and you see if you get the right solution, it lines up the notch with this little mechanism. And what this does is there's a second gear that's going to start to open the door. As I rotate it, it'll move like that, and as you can see that it's lined up, it moves and it opens up the door. However, if it's not in the correct position, you can see it's not there now. When you try to open the door, it doesn't work and it just skips. So this is supposed to be the Earth and the Moon. However, I'm not sure I'm happy with the Earth. It's fine. I thought black and gold might be cool colors. I feel like it might miss its mark though. Let's see. Has this project been kicking my butt? Yes, but as you can see, I have made the globe big now because I did a little test on. A lot of people said that it didn't look very much like the globe, so here is your more generic standard issue globe. There we go, still works like that, and now I need to make a sun. I was trying a few different things for the sun, something like this, you know, with that on top, and it would hang on a wall. But I think the sun needs to go right here, and so I've made this little floor model sun. That'll sit right about there. I also think I might tile the whole thing black. I think I'm gonna add two structural pillars. There we go. That's how the mouth works. Structural pillars here and here. And if I had thought ahead, I should have made this bottom tiling or plate black, because then I could stick, you know, the stars in and just build around it, and it would look like, you know, the stars were nicely built in. For instance, I might be able to get away with something like this with black tiling and black plates. However, that does not work at all. Okay, I'm still working on it, but this is what I've got so far. On one hand, it does look a little too random, but on another hand, I made these little gold circle stars, and then it shows a silver plot line of where the Earth travels. The sun is now mounted, and I have some different colored circles for the different planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. So the floor is completely done now, and I've done the back little pedestal area that's going to have a giant mural back here. This doesn't look very good, but I'm going to stack some items right about here and maybe put a plank, something like that. We'll block it off, it'll be fine. And yeah, I think it's good. Now I'm going to build a column here and maybe half a column here that's deteriorated, and then build up the walls, and then we'll get started on the mural. I've gotten to work on these iron columns or poles, whatever you want to call them. You know, the nice decor, and it looks, yeah, I mean, it looks very cute. It's this little archway. It's supposed to have stars at the top. As you can see, it's rusted and fallen over in some points. However, the problem I have with this is I call it architecture for the big guy. This arch doesn't repeat on this side, mostly because of that right there, and I couldn't fit a column. However, with it like this and with the stars facing outward, it's great to look at if you're, you know, a human being. However, it doesn't really make a lot of sense if you were building this as a little Lego person. Why would you have all of these stars just facing a wall? That doesn't really make sense, but it's a give and a take. You want it to look nice for the viewer as they peer inside this old abandoned temple. So I'm gonna keep it. Even though, like I said, it is purely for the big viewers. There's always a moment where you get really in the zone and suddenly you're like, oh no, I didn't film anything. That just happened. So before I was making the argument that, you know, this didn't really make sense if it wasn't mirrored on the other side and there's no columns on the other side, but I put this here and I had this extra pole that's going to have something sticking out to show that maybe they did have one on this side just without the columns, and that's why that one's more deteriorated and not there anymore, because without the columns it's easier to make it fall down. I also finished this portrait of a moon. That's right, this is going to be very important for the puzzle, and it's going to have text that says the moon rises anew, because it's a new moon. And then I don't know if I've mentioned this earlier because I was working on this a couple days ago, but I put a little skeleton here, and he has the little turn crank that's supposed to go up and around and hoist this gate up. But as you can see, he didn't make it because it's disconnected, and he couldn't figure out the puzzle, so he couldn't leave through that exit. I also built up these walls with little pegs so you could attach stuff to it later, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, I think it's mostly done. It's going to end up being a little taller, but I think for the moment I'm going to have it sliced right here just so I could, you know, work on other stuff. But let me finish it up. I think all I need to do now is add some little extra, you know, details. Just a little detailing. Alright, I added some crates here and there for debris, and then a rusty chest, and then I put a new moon rises, a little arch. And that should actually be enough to solve the riddle. Alright, I bet you can guess. Looking from the top, if that's the 12 o'clock position, which one is the answer that opens up the room to the, what do you think, a treasure room in there? We'll just call it a treasure room for now. What position is going to open it up? Alright, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and all that fun stuff. Now you get to see the end product.